Hey guys, welcome back. This will officially be my last video of 2024. I'm going to be talking about week 17 in this one, considering tomorrow is a holiday. I also want to take this opportunity to look back on the last year.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
That includes the NFL season, but it will be really hard to separate my fantasy football stuff from reality, so I'm not even going to try. There were 3 games on Saturday, December 21st, but that was technically week 16. That's because the NFL are greedy fucks and just had to make more money so they could play 2 Christmas games. The Chiefs played against the Steelers, and yeah, I don't have much to say about that. The Ravens also traveled down to Houston to play the Texans. I have Derrick Henry, who of course played well. The Thursday night game between the Seattle Seahawks and Chicago Bears was just an actual shit show. It just proves that professional football games should be a weekend thing, excluding Monday Night Football. That one can stay. The players and fans really don't want football on the other days. And that brings up my next point. I'm fine with professional football games being played on Saturdays because it's the weekend. And the NFL is allowed to make money on Saturdays in December, so you know they're going to. The Rams played against the Cardinals and Cooper Kupp decided to show up again. The Bengals played the Broncos and thank fuck Ja'Marr Chase picked up some of that slack. The Bengals won in overtime, or did the Broncos lose? I don't know, there's just a lot of talent on both sides. The Chargers played the Patriots in a game that was much more lopsided, considering the Chargers won with a final score of 40-7. We're finally going to talk about Sunday football now. Isn't December great? The Cowboys traveled to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. You know I'm a big Cowboys fan and can't stand the Philadelphia Eagles. So naturally I really wanted Dallas to win that game, which didn't happen. I have to talk about Saquon Barkley for a minute though. Obviously, he's an amazing talent. I shouldn't let my bias impact how I feel about something like this.
Hurts has time. Now locates Barkley out of the backfield. Barkley slips 2 tackles and picks up the first down, jumping up in the air to the 30. A gain of 14 for Barkley.
Out of moves right here, makes the first guy miss. The spin move at the last second. Bro. And then, what, Tiki, you're right. What is that?
Bro. We got to see this again. This kid is special, man. Just, you didn't even think to do that.
The Bills had a division matchup against the Jets. The Bills won pretty handily, partly because their defense went off. Which was good for me, considering I started Buffalo's defense this week. And of course Josh Allen is Josh Allen. There was another division matchup between the Panthers and the Bucks in the NFC South. I can really only remember the ducky from that game. It's kind of ridiculous that Mike Evans being so close to another 1,000-yard season was overshadowed by a duck, but shit goose lunacy, I guess? Or I guess it's shit duck lunacy. While we're on the subject of shit goose lunacy, the Las Vegas Raiders played against the New Orleans Saints and won. For more shit goose lunacy, Drew Horsecock Lock started at quarterback for the New York Giants and actually managed to win against the Indianapolis Colts. The Tennessee Titans played the Jacksonville Jaguars in a tank bowl. You could smell the shit goose lunacy there before the game even kicked off. That was all the games in the early window on Sunday, so there were 2 games Sunday afternoon. The Cleveland Browns played against the Miami Dolphins, and even without Tua, the Dolphins still steamrolled the Browns. The other game was between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I have 3 players on Green Bay. So you would think when the Packers scored a touchdown that would be good for me, right? No, Jordan Love handed the ball off to someone who wasn't Josh Jacobs. The Vikings won, and having 3 players in that game didn't net me nearly as many points as it should have. The Sunday night game was between the Atlanta Falcons and Washington Redskins. I know I should show Washington a bit more respect now that Dan Snyder is gone and they have Jaden Daniels. But I simply refuse.
I do what I want.
Captain Kirk was benched so Michael Penix got the start at quarterback. The last Sunday night game of 2024 rightfully ended with shit goose lunacy, considering that game went into overtime with Washington coming away victorious. It wasn't from the Sunday night game, but there was a call in that Browns-Dolphins game that really rubbed me the wrong way, so I'm going to get onto my soapbox for a quick second. I think penalizing a player for removing their helmet in the field of play is about as stupid of a penalty as there is. It kind of epitomizes the whole no-fun league thing. I don't want to be that guy, but it's kind of ridiculous at this point. I also have said I mainly watch Red Zone, so I don't really pay much attention to anyone that isn't Scott Hanson. But because the games are more spread out, I hear more of the broadcast announcer. And there was a tackle that was penalized, and the announcer basically said, "What sport are we even playing?" Like, if tackling a guy cleanly is wrong, how do you play defense in football? And the whole rhetoric of the game is too soft now is incredibly stupid and annoying. I get that. I just think there needs to be some middle ground and common sense, you know? Football can be a dangerous game, and you assume a certain amount of risk by playing it. Hockey is the same, if not more dangerous, because it's played on fucking knives, but whatever. The point is, when the NFL tries to mitigate risks that are inherent to the game, people are going to be pissed. I guess I'll talk about Monday Night Football now. I think of that as an extension of Football Sunday, so my dislike of non-weekend football doesn't apply here. So for Monday Night Football, the Detroit Lions played against the San Francisco 49ers. The game was in Santa Clara and was a rematch of last season's NFC Championship game. The Lions won this time to get their revenge, which is a super satisfying way to finish the year. Now it's just Minnesota next week, and then it's the playoffs. From there, the Super Bowl. But it's one game, one day at a time. Just like recovery. It's one day at a time. It doesn't feel like you're making progress that way, but when I look back on this year, it was better than 2023. And that year was better than 2022.
I never thought I'd get this far.
I know taking it one day at a time pays off. Shit, that's how I was able to start this channel.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
I want to keep that same energy going into 2025, so for my New Year's resolution, I want to express myself more creatively and artistically. I wanted to just take a second to express my gratitude about this whole thing. I know not many people are watching, and I hope that changes, but having this channel as a creative outlet has just been really good for my recovery. I feel like I have to talk about last Wednesday. Like I said, this will be my last video of 2024. Chris Webby released last Wednesday on Christmas Day. He released the first Wednesday album in 2018, which was also the start of Webby Wednesdays. Last Wednesday is, appropriately, his last Wednesday project, so I feel like I have to at least mention it. I don't know what else to say, so I guess I'll roll out. But before I tell you to visit my website, DisabledDanny.com, I want to wish everyone a happy and safe New Year. My cult, the Dan Fam, is actually throwing a New Year's party. You can subscribe to join the other Dan fans. Remember to be gentle, though.
Happy New Year, y'all. Peace out.